live on YouTube. I want to give a shout out to my Top Gun moderator off the rip, Black Spring with Autumn, Intelligence Done Right. I want to apologize for last week. I did not go live, had some technical difficulties and all that. Basically, I couldn't get my information together, so there's no need to come and talk to y'all, and my information ain't right and exact. All right, so today is Saturday, November the 8th in the year of our Lord 2025. We live here in Philadelphia. The Strawberry Mansion Bridge is behind me. Salute to Black Spring with Autumn, my Top Gun moderators. Salute to my man out there. I think he in Cali. Pookie XTV. Salute to y'all. Um, this gonna be a short stream, Black Spring with Autumn. I'm just gonna say you can actually put the link for Ray Kurzweil and Transhumanism debunked. You could put that link in the stream for me because I couldn't pull up my paperwork. But I did, for those who may watch this in the future, I did put all the links for what I'm going to talk about in the description box below, so you can read for yourself and do a deep dive. I was telling Black Spring with Autumn last night when I was on the phone with her, is that this subject of transhumanism is just beyond me. Like it's a deep subject. But let me introduce it so I do it right. The title of this presentation is called Hackable Animals. My name is Derek C. Williams, and I'm just one man in the comment section on YouTube. All right. So yeah. So as I was saying, I left a message with Black Spring with Autumn last night via text, and we often talk about it while we're in her live streams. And those who may watch this in the future, Black Spring with Autumn, if you would please put your link in the stream so folks can follow you. Aside from what they spraying in the air with regards to, people call them chemtrails, but it's the more technical and precise term is stratospheric aerosol injection. Y'all see these lines in the sky that go from horizon to horizon? No telling what's in that. I'm afraid of that, but I'm even more so afraid of being augmented. I like me as I am. I do my little push-ups, my little pull-ups, and all this other stuff. I take my vitamins and things like that. I drink my water. I do get my drink on. I'm going to smoke a cigar tomorrow. But other than that, six days out the week, you're going to see me on that pull-up bar. I like me as I am, and I want to augment myself the natural way, the way nature intended. All right? But there are some people who actually want to join the board. Two movies that you all may find of interest. One is called Upgrade. It's currently being played right now on Netflix. And the other one came out a few years back with Johnny Depp, this movie called Transcendence. And essentially, with transhumanism, a lot of people... Yes, we're live, JJ. Yeah, and just really quick housekeeping for my moderator, Black Spring with Autumn. Any and all disrespectful comments, if they disrespectful to you, most likely they disrespectful to me. Don't time out. We block over here. I'm 58 years old. I don't put up with no foolishness. All right, so those who want to come in and we talking grown folk stuff here, no, you can speak your mind, so long as you within respect for all the innuendos and ad hominem attacks. Take that shit to your mammy. I don't fuck around like that. But there are people. One of the most prominent ones being Ray Kurzweil. He's talking about there will be an event that will come up eventually called a singularity, where at that point the computing power of artificial intelligence will trump that of human intelligence. And at that point, the robots will kind of look at us the way we look at an ant or a roach. And you know what we do when we see an ant or a roach. On sight, we crush. So no, we may not want to do that. In fact, Elon Musk, the creator, well, actually he stole the idea, but that's another subject. The creator of Tesla motor vehicles said in a talk that when we deal with this artificial intelligence, we are, quote, summoning the demon. And I take him at his word. We don't want that. We don't want to become man and machine power extreme. For those of y'all who watch cartoons, y'all know. But I'm going to read two quotes from this he's an Israeli atheist. Let me say that again. He's an Israeli atheist historian. His name is Yuval Noah Harari. And if you all remember, about maybe 6 weeks ago, conservative pundit Charlie Kirk was killed, and a lot of people lost their jobs for mocking this dude in death. I don't wish death on nobody, but I don't. If they were to die, I'd laugh. Let's put it like that. Well, Harari is in that list. If anybody is worthy of being put to bed, it's him. This dude, you have to do your research on this guy named Yuval Noah Harari, one of the most evil and just diabolical men on planet Earth. Look into him if you think I'm lying. But I just want to read you a couple of quotes from this maniac, and it goes like this. As far as we can tell from a scientific standpoint, human life has absolutely no meaning. Humans are the outcome of blind evolutionary processes that cooperate without goal or purpose. Our actions are utterly meaningless in the cosmic in the cosmic scheme of things. If the universe were to blow up right now, life as we know it would probably still go on. How would he know that? But this is the one where I got the quote for the lie. Hold on for a minute. Angelina, you say, what's the guy's name again? His name is Yuval Noah Harari. That's YUVALHARARI. Yuval Noah Harari. But this is the one that's probably most famous around the world with what I'm about to read now. And this is a direct quote from Harari, and it goes like this. In such a situation, the democratic system stops functioning. We need to reinvent democracy. This is the new era in which humans are now hackable animals. The whole idea that humans have this soul or spirit or have a free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me. So whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether the supermarket, this is my free will, that's over. All right? So in this guy's opinion, you, myself, and everybody who may watch this in the future, you're nothing. In fact, this dude has gone on to say that in the future you will have what he calls synthetic life. As far as I know, we are carbon-based units. I'd like to know how something that's synthetic is going to create life. It takes the male and the female, I thought. But this dude says in about the year 2045, you, me, your children's children, dead. So you have to ask yourself, that's about 20 years from now. So you have to ask yourself the question, what do the powers that be have in store that can knock out 8.2 billion people in 20 years? But right now I'm going to start reading some stuff right here. Let me see. Let me get my stuff right. I think it's right here. Nah, yeah. Here we go right here. Black Spring with Autumn. Let me see. Your live stream is universal. Yes, it is. We are broadcasting to the four corners of the planet. All right, that's what we're doing. We broadcasting to the four corners of the planet on YouTube. All right, but Black Spring with Autumn, I want you to put this link in the stream if you would, please. And it's called "Can We Hack Humans? Should We?" And this is another guy's take on Harari. One of the most enigmatic, sensational, and misguided thinkers of the last 10 years is his Israeli historian and pop philosopher Yuval Noah Harari. His book *Sapien*, published in English in 2015, has sold over 1 million copies as it's told the story of mankind's evolution. His 2017 book, *Homo Deus*, predicts a transhumanist future, a world where technology fundamentally reshapes what kind of entity human beings are. And this is important again. All y'all who took that shot, and even those who have relations with people who took that shot, they have nanotechnology in it, and it's shared. So even if you didn't take the shot, in many ways, a lot of us are already augmented. All right, so if y'all didn't know that, look into it for yourself. When I came upon this revelation, I got scared because a lot of my family in Mississippi been shot up. Obviously, I'm in the healthcare field. Obviously, folks They did what they did. Luckily for me, I took the time out to get an exemption. All right. And this is a quote from Harari, and it goes like this: by hacking organisms, elites, not you or I, but I guess Zuckerberg and them, elites may gain power to re-engineer the power of life itself. This would not just be the greatest revolution in humankind, but that of the universe itself. This boy crazy. This boy, like, it's the greatest. Let me continue. Harari's prophecy doesn't end there. Science is replacing evolution by natural selection, by the evolution of intelligent design. And this is important. Not the intelligent design of some god above the clouds, but our intelligent design. And the intelligent design of our clouds are the IBM cloud, the Microsoft cloud. These are the new driving forces of evolution. This boy out his motherfucking mind. So human interaction means nothing. The computers will decide all. And I have a story about the computer being God as I get ready to close. All right. Conspiracy theorists might be forgiven for having a field day with such statements. After all, Harari's outspoken fans include some of the most powerful people alive, people like Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, former President Barack Obama, and of course his top guy, the World Economic head, well, former head, Klaus Schwab. Still, Harari suffers from a fatal inconsistency. While positioning himself as a prophet, interested in solving the worst abuses that could befall our future hackable systems, he cuts the ideological ground out from any standing in their way. All right? And he goes on further to say that most are unprepared for a situation when human freedoms are subverted from within. And he's right. Right now, if my daughter's in college, and I call them indoctrination camps, and the young are being subverted, the stuff that you and I used to take, like we would pledge allegiance to the flag, things like that, stuff that made our culture, that's being wiped out now. All right. Though he is right about the origins of classic liberalism, the result is a self-contradictory mess. In effect, Harari is saying we should stop people from being hacked by hacking ourselves first, and defend universal values by denying that it exists. Harari also says, I don't know where the answers will come, but they are definitely not coming from a collection of stories written 1,000 years ago. He's essentially referencing the Bible, the Quran, the Torah. So there you have it for that story. So we're about 13 minutes into this live presentation. And again, the title of the presentation is called Hackable Animals. I want to give a shout out again to Black Spring Autumn, my Top Gun moderator. I want to thank all y'all who came in. So that would be JJ, Pookie TV, and I thought I saw some lady named Angelina. But yeah, but again, here we are. We're in the year 2025. A lot of stuff that, well, put it like this. I think they were saying when the pandemic first started, 3 years changing in 6 months and stuff. Stuff is just coming at us so fast from all areas, pretty much full spectrum dominance. If it's something bad, it's coming from this way. If it's something bad, it's coming from that way. This, that, the other. It's just raining on us. And you really just have to keep your head in these times, man. It's hard out here. What can I tell you? So, JJ, I can't pronounce your last name, so you have to forgive me. So I'm just going to call you JJ. Let us know where you're coming from. All right? And Pookie XTV, I missed what he said. The shot is diabolical. Yes, it is. Yeah. Oh yeah, and for those who are interested, I would direct you respectfully to my community tab. And in there I have some you'll have to scroll through, but it's there. Apparently there's a company that said that well first off, there's a company out in Florida called the Wellness Company. They have a spike protein detox thing. Again, I'm not a doctor, nor am I what they say advocating, giving you medical advice and stuff like that. But if you scroll through, you'll see you'll see a little ampule bottle, and in that company is suggesting that they have something for those of you who took the shot, that perhaps you could mitigate some of the ingredients in that damn shot. And but now the stuff is in the food as well. So Black Spring with Autumn, if you would please, I want you to put the article for the nanoparticles in your food that you, me, and the rest of the world are eating. In fact, I think in 2023, Biden signed an executive order that yes, it was all right for companies to put nanoparticulates in your food. So here's that article right here. I know it's backwards, so y'all have to forgive me. We're about 15 minutes into this live presentation, and the title of the presentation is called Hackable Animals. Okay. Black Spring with Autumn says, I am considering the product. I took a look today in regards to the shedding. Okay, well, good for you. All right, because again, um, if you having relationships with people who have taken the shot, or if your kids or family members have taken the shot, you're around people when you go to the supermarket, you know some of them took the shot. Your co-workers, you know they took the shot. So they kind of got us coming and going, and so it's on you to try to do your best to mitigate some of the stuff. And again, I don't have to tell y'all about the sky. You know, obviously, they spraying something crazy up there, no telling what all that stuff is that's coming down on us. But this is dealing with nanoparticulates in your food. All right. Nanotechnology involves the engineering and manipulation of particles at a nanoscale. Nanoparticles, as they're called, are measured in nanometers, or 1/1000th of a meter. Another way to put it, if a nanoparticle is the size of a football, a red blood cell is the size of the field. Damn. Although some nanoparticles have been found to exist in nature, for instance, let me go back. Although some nanoparticles have been found to exist in nature, it's the nanoparticles that are engineered in laboratories that have the environmental health advocate concern, and they should. All right. So again, we 17 minutes into this live presentation. Here's the thing. It turns out that most materials start behaving differently at size, according to the British Corporate Accountability Organization, which has been keeping tabs on the nanotech industry for years. Materials reduced to the nanoscale, either through engineered or natural processes, can suddenly show very different properties compared to what they exhibited at macro scale. Considering the fact that nanoparticles are now used to help deliver nutrients, keep food fresher longer, and act as thickening and coloring agents in processed foods, these different properties might cause concern for people. In actuality, companies are not required to disclose nano-sized ingredients, and that's what I was saying earlier about Biden signing this thing into law. All right? Nor is there such an active measure about their safety. Instead, from the government's perspective, nanoforms of silver, iron, titanium are no different fundamentally from their scaled-up counterparts, which have already been safety tested, so the agencies regard the nanoparticles that go into food as GRAS, or generally recognized as safe. So when you see GRAS, that's what that stands for. In food parlance, or in the food vernacular, GRAS means generally recognized as safe. So even though, like they say here, titanium, if the titanium is of a low enough percentage, it can go in food, and therefore it's safe. Nanoparticles can be used to purify water, also used as anti-caking and gelatin-forming agents, and in the packaging to protect UV light, prevent the growth of microbes, this, that, and the other thing. Although there is less science focused on the ingested nanotech particles than on, say, some of the inhaled ones from industrial environments, Belly does point to a few studies that exist that include one out of Cornell University that looked at chickens' ability to absorb iron after eating nanoparticles, generally recognized as safe. In it, researchers found that acute exposure to particles changed the structure and lining of the chicken's intestinal wall, a change detectable changes that could lead to harmful effects in the human body if it does so for the chickens. So there you have it for that story. So if they're starting this out with chickens, the chickens eat it, you eat it. I'm sure y'all remember, like during the 90s or whatever, people started watching the fact that kids were starting to get a little bit bigger. At least for me, I did. And it goes right in line with the revelations of the guy from Super Size Me. He died. He took the shot and he died. His name is Morgan Spurlock. But come to find out, they were in fact shooting up the cows and stuff with vaccines and stuff like that, and growth hormones to make them get bigger. Well, if the cows are eating it, they chop the cow up and then process it to make a hamburger, put it to McDonald's. What you think gonna happen to the kids? Something to think about. All right, so we're about 21 minutes into this live presentation. Look like I ain't gonna be on but less than a half hour today. Again, we here in Philadelphia with 65 degrees. This right here, that is the Strawberry Mansion Bridge. All right, so I'm gonna turn around here some more so y'all can see. All right, so yeah, so that's the famous Kelly Drive right there. As you can see, everybody hauling ass. Everybody feel good. Feel real good today. Yeah. So again, we're about 21 minutes into the live presentation. We're gonna go and get out of here. This is the last story. And again, the links for all these stories are in the description box. And Black Spring with Autumn are dropping the links for me as well. Thank you, and shout out to my Top Gun moderator, Black Spring with Autumn. But this gonna be the last. Whoa, okay, there she go. Okay, shout out and respect due to Real Eyes, Realize, Real Lies. Yeah. So you just came in, Realize. So the title of this presentation, if you can see by the thumbnail, is called Hackable Animals. And that's dealing, it's a quote from this dude named Yuval Noah Harari. I'm going to read it one more time because it's just stunning. And it goes like this. In such a situation, old democratic systems stop functioning. We need to reinvent democracy. For this new era in which humans are now hackable animals, the whole idea that humans have this soul or this free will and nobody knows what's happening on the inside of me, so no one knows whether in the election or in the supermarket, this is my free will. That's over. One of the most evil men in the world, if anybody is worthy of death. Again, I can't do nothing to him because I ain't like that, with that Charlie Kirk thing. But if he was to get off, I laugh. One of the most evil men on the planet. All right. Okay, shout out and respect due to old head Deuce. Salute. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah, old head Deuce. Real quick, this side note. So chat, forgive me. Yeah, I see you. The lady, some cam lady. She pretty deep. I like her. I've been looking at some of her content. But yeah. All right. Let me see. 22 Ronan says, I already know the end game is humans farming themselves. You ain't too far off. But yeah, but this the last story here. So 22 Ronan and Realize y'all came in late, so obviously you can always go back and look at the replay. But this the last story here. We're gonna go and get out of here. As you can see, it's starting to get dark here in the city. All right. So Black Spring with Autumn, if you would please, I want you to put this link for technology as your guide in the stream for me. Thank you. All right, but the title of this article is called "Technology Will Never Be God, but has it become a religion?" And I'm saying that for this reason. About 10 years ago, a former Google engineer, his name is Anthony Lewandowski, and he formed a 501c3, a church. And the church was called Way of the Future, and it's a church whereby artificial intelligence is revered as a godhead. It had a set of values, and Black Spring with Autumn or 22 Ronan, if you would, I want y'all to look up Anthony Lewandowski's Way of the Future. And they don't have like the King James Holy Bible or the Holy Quran or the Torah and stuff like that. Theirs was called the Manual, and that's their holy book. But In 2017, the church disbanded under some controversy. But I was told, well, not told, I actually read it. I just didn't type it up for this presentation here. But the church has restarted up. So apparently there are some amongst us, not you working class folks, not you pros, not you lessers, but the more elite, the more maniacal, those type people. Those, I guess these are the people that are congregants in Lewandowski's new church. But the church is called Way of the Future. And I'm just like what the fuck is y'all thinking? Like, so you're going to bow down to a computer. I'll say this last thing before I go into the article. If you all ever saw the Twilight Zone episode Old Man in the Cave, in it there was Thank You Black Spring with Autumn. Yeah. But in this Twilight Zone episode called Old Man in the Cave, there was a nuclear holocaust, and you had survivors that they survived about 15 years after the Holocaust, radioactive fallout and all that. And there was some guy that was getting information from, quote, an old man in the cave. He never told the other survivors who this old man was, so they never actually saw the guy. Well, you had some other survivors who were, quote, bad actors, let's just say. And they wanted to see the old man in the cave, but unlike the survivors that I just mentioned, the other ones who were bad actors, they were armed. They came in and ran roughshod, and they made the guy who was in contact with the old man go to the cave so we can see the identity of this guy. As it turns out, that old man was a computer. The new survivor said, kill it. You got to kill it. And this machine, ironically, was keeping the humans alive. Okay, so they end up destroying the computer. And so the food which was contaminated that the computer said don't eat, they ate. And they were all dead except, so that's the thing right there. The guy that actually had the information, he did not partake of the food, but they did, and they all died. So just a cautionary tale. All right, so on the flip side, in that movie, they relied on the machine and lived. But in this case here, we're going to rely on machines and die most likely. All right. So at any rate, here we go right here. All right. As I said, way back in September 2015, Anthony Lewandowski, a Silicon Valley tech guy, came up with Way of the Future, which was a church dedicated to technology as a godhead. All right. According to documents filed with the state of California, at the time, the Way of the Future was to develop and promote the escalation of a godhead based on artificial intelligence. Lewandowski believed that organized religion, as he saw it, just wasn't good enough, and that man was evolving to better heights, and we had to get past, we will have to get past this old way of thinking. All right. So essentially, well, yeah, I guess that's all you need to know. She put the link in there. Again, it's about a 20-some page, well, maybe 10-page read, but it's actually worth reading if you ask me. So that's all I want to say for today. Again, I want to apologize for last week because I had technical difficulties and all that. All right. So let me see. Realize says this is something similar to, yeah. All right, 22 Ronin, Animatrix. I heard that you had to jog my memory, my man. That's like a cartoon or something, right? Is it not? I believe it is. So 22 Ronin. If you would tell me that was a cartoon from like the 80s, right? But I pretty much could freestyle that story. But basically, what it is that, okay, anime. But yeah, I freestyled the last story. I mean, like that was an old one, but long story short, he's reviving that church, and apparently there are some people that will, bend the knee toward artificial intelligence as their Lord and Savior. I also did a video dealing with Chat GPT. Well, not just Chat GPT, just artificial intelligence in general, where there's a metric suggesting that 1 million people per week are seeking guidance on how to best kill themselves through artificial intelligence. And in fact, there was a story, Black Spring with Autumn or 22 Ronin. I want you all to go to YouTube and type in 16-year-old boy kills himself after chatting with artificial intelligence. I think that should pull it up, or artificial intelligence 16-year-old boy suicide. Those are the keywords that should pull it up. But I just don't I just don't understand all that. Again, I don't want to be I don't know about you all, any of y'all who may watch this in the future. I don't want to be augmented. I like Derek the way he is. Connie and Jimmy laid down and had me, and I'm glad with their finished product. I'm their best work. So, I like me as I am. No, I don't need any diodes, transistors. I don't need Neuralink. I can read and I use this damn internet or this computer and type up what I need. I do my learning like that, not the deep learning like NVIDIA has, even though I'm a shareholder in NVIDIA. All right? 22 Ronin, AI body count is 3 this year. Okay, well, if you have any information on that really quickly, before I get ready to close, put that in the stream for folks and they can look at it for themselves. Again, all I know that I don't know how many people have actually pulled the trigger on suicides, so I have to take your word that it's been 3. But what I do know, there you go, but I do know that one. The one that Black Spring with Autumn, she just put, and thank you, Black Spring, salute. There you go right there, parents suing OpenAI. So it wasn't chat, because I get them confused. I don't know Chat GPT, Grok, all of this, all I know is computer. All I know is just the computer. Just you going to you typing in like, hey, look, man, how can I kill myself? So I don't know. I don't know how that works. All right. Realize says they want us like cyborgs. Realize here, I got something for you. This is dedicated just to realize. Realize when you see a young person with a Bluetooth on, or maybe you even wear a Bluetooth, do you think you're augmented at that point? Or if you got your cell phone on your hip or in your pocket, are you not becoming one with the machine at that point, metaphorically speaking? Are you not metaphorically a cyborg when you attach all these gimmicks? In other words, if you had the earpiece on, if you didn't have the earpiece, you couldn't listen to your favorite tunes in peace, could you? Right? But if you put on these attachments, are you not, metaphorically speaking, augmented at that point? Because I saw this in a video maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I thought about that too. You see people walking around with their phones. They always got them in their hand. You Muslim women out there, the Muslim women had a little keymark. They do it. The black Muslims here, they do it. The women had a phone slammed up in their ear, by their ear, just like this here. Are you not walking around looking metaphorically like a robot at that point? Just a thought. All right. So let's see, 22 Ronin. All right. So thank you. So 22 Ronin just put in the stream. I'm assuming that link is as it relates to 3 people killing themselves so far. All right. So yeah, so that's just me. Again, like I said, aside from the chemtrails and all the stuff that they're spraying in the skies, can't escape it. The biosafety labs who leak like the one in Wuhan, that's a concern. But I'm scared. Black Spring or Autumn know this. I'm scared out of my mind about artificial intelligence. I ain't trying to be no robot. I'm sorry. That just I ain't with it. Black Spring or Autumn says the transcript from that case provided him with emotional support for. There you go. You basically, yeah, Pookie X. That's what I mean. If you put on your Bluetooth, self-included, when you put your Bluetooth on and you walking around like that, are you not, metaphorically speaking, augmented? Just something to think about. I mean, obviously you don't have any metal on you. You didn't turn into Darth Vader. But just metaphorically speaking, when you rocking these wireless headsets and you got your phone in your hand and you won't let your phone out your sight, are you not, metaphorically speaking, augmented? That's all I'm saying. All right. Pookie X says I'm with you. I'm scared of that shit too. I but again, people like Harari and Pookie X, I would strongly suggest you look into this again as an Israeli married homosexual ass boy, a homosexual historian who's an atheist. I am an agnostic, and agnosticism simply means I just have questions about all religions, but I would never tell you that there's not a creator. I'm be ignorant. I would never tell you. It's definitely something bigger than man. Now what that is, that's where men argue. But this boy, this boy here that's head of the world, well, he's like the top dog in the World Economic Forum. His name is Yuval Noah Harari. He don't believe in God at all. He said, "Look, you ain't got no soul. You just a vessel." So I wonder what he thinks about himself. He must think about himself enough. He want to lay with a boy. He must have some type of feeling. You feel me? All right. Let me see. Be careful with Chat TP. Be careful with Chat GPT and AI pheromones. Well, yeah. Well, I know in the fragrance community they say pheromones make the woman be attracted to the man more and all that. There. I'm gonna look into him. Yeah, you do so. Look into some of his speeches. And in fact, I would direct you to rumble.com. So you want to go to Rumble. I'm sure you've heard of Rumble. Just type in Yuval Noah Harari. Yeah, Yuval Noah Harari Bright Side, because I think that's the platform right there. Bright Side, it has videos on Rumble, and you can and just look. Yo, the motherfucker crazy, as far as I'm concerned. You know, an Israeli atheist historian who's married to some pretty ass boy, old pretty ass boy like Christopher Williams. But yeah, so that's pretty much all the information and stuff I have for today. Again, it's sad. It was 65 degrees here. Um, it was 65 degrees here in Philadelphia. Everybody's out and about. I'm seeing folks jog. It's traffic everywhere. Again, this is the Strawberry Mansion Bridge. I'm just out here in nature, man, just doing what I do. Tomorrow, I don't have I don't quote have a football team, but I'm just a casual observer. So I'll be at the cigar bar tomorrow, smoking a cigar, got me some bourbon. I think you should live your life. We're in some very um, tumultuous times, to say the least. I'm quite sure you all know that a Democratic Socialist just took New York City. Zohan Mamdani, I think that's his name. Rapper 50 Cent made a tweet, I think on Thursday, say not just him, but other folks is getting out of New York too. They can't, they don't want it. Socialism kills. All right. Black Spring with Autumn says, "Thank you, lovely background." Yeah. So here let me pick it up one more time here so y'all can see. So yeah, so we here live at Kelly Drive, Philadelphia. Yeah. So just everybody out. I just come out. I try to do what I do. As you can see, folks zipping by and all that. So yeah. So Pookie X TV says, "Go Hawks." All right. So yeah. So that's pretty much it for today, y'all. I have a live set up for next week, but I may have to push it back to a week after. We'll see. Black Spring with Autumn, I'm gonna let you know, and I'm gonna send you all the links and things like that. And hope all y'all in YouTube land. I hope all y'all doing good. I hope your kids doing good, and you living your best life, man, because it's hard out here. Um, what can I tell you? What I have not seen, and maybe some of you all have, I'm not sure. I made a couple of videos week before last talking about how people who were quote EBT crash outs were going to do so. I have not seen any major stories around the country where people are just knocking heads off and stealing, you know. But I would imagine that's going to be forthcoming. But then I heard that Trump blocked the snap from coming out and stuff like that. Oh, and one other thing too, Black Spring with Autumn, really quickly. As you all know, I voted for Trump, and I support him, and I wear my Trump stuff just to make folks mad. So just so you know. I wear when the Trump shirts or stuff like that you see, I know that be making motherfuckers mad, so I wear it anyway. Fuck 'em, all right? There's free speech around here. But what he's doing is, I don't know if any of y'all have heard of the weight loss drug Ozempic or Wegovy. These things are made, they are derived from venom, from snake venom and poisonous marine life. Well, he's saying they're going to keep it going. In fact, there is a video of him. He was in a news conference on Thursday saying that, yes, we're going to use anglerfish and I think the puffer fish to keep putting. I'm paraphrasing. I know that sounds crazy. But if one of the moderators really quick can type in Trump weight loss anglerfish, you'll see it. So like, I ain't with that. Like, what? Like, you are using snake venom for people to curb their appetites. In fact, during the pandemic, you'll notice a lot of people were saying that they were losing smell and taste. Well, that's exactly what happens when what's called inveneration. If you get a snake bite, you're going to lose smell and taste, and you're going to lose appetite. You'll notice when a snake eats some, it'll go weeks and weeks, or if not months, without eating. That's essentially what happens when you inject that shit in you. So not only is Trump signed a deal with Boiler at the tune of $70 billion, now he's working with the pharmaceutical companies, like with whoever makes Ozempic and all these weight loss supplements, to go ahead and keep on putting venom in the product. And I wish one of the moderators, because I have not seen it yet, but I wish one of the moderators would just type that in. Just all you got. Trump had a press conference just the other day, and he was talking about this. But like, I don't know what he on with that. With everything else, I'm with him. You know, like closing the border, that America first mindset. I'm with all that. But this stuff, like on the health front, if you're gonna do all that, why did you install Robert F. Kennedy Jr.? Because you know he ain't with it. You know he not with it. All right. Okay, Black Spring with Autumn says, okay, Dad, thank you, Black Spring. See, Dad, you go right there. But this dude is like I don't know what he on. I don't know what he on. So like, I'm just saying on record, yes, I voted for Trump 3 times, and he won 3 times as far as I'm concerned. But this stuff right here on the health front, I don't know what he on. I don't know what he on. And so I'm absolutely against it. I think anybody who looked into it, you would be horrified. And actually, it's not just, if you took a deeper dive into it, obviously we can't do it here because I don't have the information in front of me, but trust and believe, I don't talk about it if I ain't looked into it. Many of the pharmaceutical products that people take over the counter or prescribed medications, many are derived from what otherwise would be poisonous creatures on this earth. Nasty stuff. And so again, that's the reason why I said, you know, it's on you and me to do our best to eat, drink, and take supplementation that is as clean as you can get. All right. So, oh, and one other thing too, I told Pookie X about going to Rumble. Well, if you go to Rumble, I want you to type in Black Spring with Autumn real quick, and then we're gonna go and get out of here. If you type in, it's a documentary called "Watch the Water." And in that documentary, it'll back up everything that I'm saying here, and they have reference links at the end of the video, so you can do a deeper dive if you want. But the fact of the matter is, there was snake venom in that shot, along with elements of HIV, SARS, MERS, and everything else. And so when people who took that shot said that they lost their smell, or they smell and taste, or even if they got the virus itself, they would always complain about some smell or taste. Well, that's called inveneration. So anyone who's interested, thank you, Black Spring. There you go. So again, I don't talk about it if I ain't looked into this. This video is about 2 years old, and obviously this wouldn't even make YouTube. All right, somebody may have had enough courage to upload it now, but you may want to watch the water, and then you can see what I'm talking about. So, and yes, for if you did not hear me, I'll say it again. That shot and the virus itself, again, I always call it a man-made biological offensive weapon. It has confirmed elements of HIV, the monster, SARS, MERS, okay? Stuff that'll knock your head off, all right? Shout out and respect due to Deity. Salute. Black Spring with Autumn, if you would, please. I believe Deity has content. I want you to run to her YouTube channel and put her link in the stream, all right? So, yeah, so we're about 45 minutes into this live presentation. And the title of the presentation, as I said, is called Hackable Animals. And it was dealing with this madman by the name of Yuval Noah Harari. And just to put a little toe dip into the pool that is transhumanism. Again, it's deep, it's heavy. I thought that this vaccine thing was heavy. And I explained why I was so into the vaccine thing. But this thing here, this is such a heavy study, man. All I know is, again, as I said, I don't want to be augmented. All right, I ain't with none of that. Black Spring with Autumn says something tells me the next few months is going to make COVID look. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Pookie TV, my man, salute, respect, all right? Remember, we go back a ways, respect due to your son, all right? My man, Marcy T, salute, all right? Didi says, no, I don't have content. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we put your link in there anyway because we love you, all right, Didi? So, yeah. So, we're about 46 minutes and some change in this live presentation. I see my prayer warrior in here, Marcy T. Marcy T, you may have missed the last part that was dealing with AI and God. But I was talking about this guy named Anthony Lewandowski. Black Spring with Autumn, if you would, please put that link back in the stream so Marcy T can grab that link about technology and God, and she can read it for herself, all right? So let me see. So, yeah, so Marcy T, thank you for putting your link in the stream. Black Spring with Autumn, you did. Oh, and let me see. Appreciate you. Yeah. Okay. All right. So look here. Well, check it out, Pookie. Once you get stuff up and running, and you be putting out videos and stuff, obviously everybody share what move them. So once you start putting up content, and like, say for instance, you do a story time and that thing move me, you know I'm gonna share you out. You know that. All right. So that's pretty much it for today, y'all. What can I say, man? Thank y'all for coming out. It's Saturday evening. I know y'all got stuff to do. Pookie X TV, respect. Marcy T, salute. Didi, realize. Mr. JJ, Angelina, and of course my Top Gun moderator, Black Spring with Autumn. Yeah. Let me see. Thank you, Black Spring. There you go. So Marcy T, I want you to copy that link, read about it, and then you do your own research about this dude, this church. It's a church called Way of the Future. All right, it's called Way of the Future, and it was started up by this dude named Anthony Lewandowski, and he's saying that in the near future, man will kneel before God, but God is artificial intelligence. All right. So again, this is Derek C. Williams. I want all y'all to have a great rest of your weekend. I want y'all to have a better week forthcoming. And we'll see y'all again around here in YouTube land. Y'all take care. Greenville, Mississippi till I die. Salute. Didi, I see you.